Hello guys, in this video we will see how we are gonna use the GitHub Copilot for generating the Angular components with whatever the code that we want, as well as some other features of Angular like Angular services, as well as the the use of this GitHub Copilot in our application. Now, one important thing that we have to keep in mind is that GitHub Copilot is the tool which is actually called as an AI programming pair. This is widely adopted AI developer tool, and one of the main thing or the feature of this is that it provides us an interactive chat window, and we can put our prompt over there and then we get the code out of that. The advantage of using the GitHub Copilot is that it helps us in improvising the developer's productivity and of course accelerate the pace of the software development more than 50%. It is also committed for privacy and security. And another thing over here is that this is gonna generate the code based upon whatever that we ask for. So advantage of this is that when we are facing the problems like inconsistent standards and workflow limited to the developer's mobility and efficiency, then GitHub Copilot provides us the help for implementing the integration to enforce the code consistency. So let's use this. So here in my case, now I already have the Angular project that has been created here, and I'm having the GitHub Copilot that is there with me. So if I go to the Google Chrome here, and here I'm gonna say that GitHub Copilot, right? So here what you need to do is that you need to sign in and then you need to go for its subscription. Of course, you will have to submit your card information to use the GitHub Copilot over there. So I'll go to this here, right? And then from the GitHub Copilot, okay, can here get started, and then these are the plans available. So we can go for $10 US, correct? So submit your card details and you can get the subscription for that. Now let me go back to the code here. Okay, and then I'm gonna have this interactive window here, right? So I have already signed up. So I'm gonna add a prompt here. I'll say that, oops, right? I'll say, can you generate a code for Angular component that will have list of customers which will be shown on UI. And now here this is giving me the detailings of that. So I have looked at here, we have the interface customer, and then there is a code for the component that's there with us, as well as the UI. Wow, that's great. Okay, so what we can do over here is that we can directly use this code as per the requirement. So if you carefully see that this has given us steps: create a new Angular component, name customer list, and can say generate the ng customer latest. This is what that we will have to do this with the help of the Angular CLI tool. And then further, what we can do is that we can create the model. This is the customer model with the properties, right? So these are the properties, or this is the customer model information which has been referred somehow from the public GitHub repository. So I'm just gonna increase this. Now we do have the step 3 here, like here we have the component. So it says that update the component over there. So the component that has been already generated with the help of this command ng generate component, and what it is doing is that like this is showing us the component code with the component selector, and here this is some simple code. Furthermore, we can actually keep on adding the logic in that. And then this is what the UI. So here it says that update the customer list component HTML. So as you know that like when we are using the ng generate with the Angular CLI, we also get the HTML file for that. Okay, so let me go over here to this, and I'll say cd, right, ng here, and then I'm gonna write the command here. I'll say ng generate, right, component customer list. So if I take you back to the Visual Studio Code here, we have this. Okay, correct. And now I'm gonna press enter. Okay, so this is gonna generate the necessary component over here into component code into my src folder. So I'm gonna go over here, and if I show you the code, I have this app customer list, and here it is. So now, as per the steps which are been given over here by this, so I'm gonna define a model over there, customer.model.ts, and then I'm gonna have this code there. So I'm gonna go to the code here, and I'm gonna add a folder called as models, correct, and there I'm gonna add app dot customer dot model.ts, and then I'm gonna add this code here. Similarly, I'm gonna copy this whole thing, and then gonna add it into this component folder over there. Okay, of course we need to make some updates, right? So I'm gonna have this file. Okay, so that's actually what the thing over here is that. So let me make this, right, models over there, and then I'm gonna have the app dot customer dot model over there. Oops, I have this right. So by mistake, I think I have added it somewhere else. Okay, here it has gone. So let me copy and paste it here, move here, and then correct. I'll have app dot right customer dot model. That's it. And this is what the code is. And see that here it is also giving us the some test data. That's what actually the thing over here is that. Okay, so we are having this code over here, and then like the code is there with a ready to use data as well into that. Now let me go back here, and let me copy this HTML, right, which has been given as a sample HTML, and then I'm gonna go here to this, and I'm gonna paste it. Correct. That's what it is. So the code of the component is there with me. Now this is the one component. We have actually simply asked this question, can you generate the code? Now the next thing here is that like what if that we want to go for the standalone component? Okay, the standalone component, which is the part of the Angular 16 onwards. So first thing first, what I'm actually going to do is that here I'm going to say the employee list. So I'm going to have this new component that is generated, and let me say that can you generate a code for standalone component, right, which will have employee list to show in HTML table. Okay, right, that's the thing here. And now see that, like, again, just the same thing, that the standalone. So now here our command, like here I'm gonna say that hyphen standalone, correct? And this is what the code, and see here that it is generating, it has generated the whole thing into the HTML table properly. So I'm gonna go here and then I'm gonna get rid of this list here, and then what I'll do is that I'll modify the command. I'm just gonna copy this command, right? Let me paste it here. Right, so the employee list, going to go back, we have the employee list thing here. So again, I'm gonna copy this employee, right, and I'm in the models folder, I'm gonna add a new file. As I say that app.employee.model.ts, I'm gonna paste it. Let me save this, and then I'm gonna copy the component code, right, and then paste it here, right. So the standalone, of course, then I'll also again do the same thing, models/employee. That's it, and my HTML. Copy, and that's how it is. Right, now, like, see that over here, ng for the directive has to be used because it's a standalone component, right? So I have to say that ng for off, correct, and then it is gonna remove that warning. So this is the reason that I told you that when you are gonna make a use of the GitHub Copilot, right, for a particular technology, it is important for you to have the very good knowledge of the technology. Then only, if there are some code that has been generated which is probably not as per the requirement, okay, then you should be able to rectify the issues and then modify that. Okay, so this is the way that how we are actually going to create a component with a GitHub Copilot. So you have to have the subscription, and what you need to have, the next thing is that, like, the knowledge of the technology, and then use the interactive tool over here, right, the chart, and then generate the code. So as per your requirement in the code. Now important thing is that you should be really careful with whatever the prompt that you are putting here, the question. Okay, so it is more or as a request format that we are doing. Can you generate the code, right? And then what you want it. Okay, so the type of object that you want to create. So here I am saying standalone components. I am putting that here, as well as what additional specification that you want into that component, and then how you want to present this. This whole thing should be properly put. Then in that case, the code generation will be highly accurate, and then you can use this for the production. Okay, this is how we should be able to make a use of the GitHub Copilot for Angular application. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thanks.